And this is what we all feel, let's just not deny it. Something pulls and it tears in the deepest place. This is what we all know, why must we still fight it? It's time to open our eyes and acknowledge the writing on the wall.
When people watch the nitrogen myth video, they got really excited about saving thousands of dollars an acre. I mean, who wouldn't be excited? You can create a compost that you can apply to your fields that will literally save you hundreds of dollars an acre in nitrogen costs. Who wouldn't be excited about 200 plus bushel corn on half the nitrogen that you applied and not having to apply any phosphorus? But here's the problem with Johnson Sioux compost. It takes a year to make. So even if you saw the nitrogen myth, got really excited, you still have to wait the entire year for the compost to be ready. And you can make really awesome compost like this stuff, or you can water it the exact same way, just have slightly different ingredients, and for some reason, have it dry out, go nasty, and be absolutely useless. This is wheat straw. This one's wheat straw. This one's awesome. Hooray! This one, not so much. What if there was a way to buy compost that was affordable that did the same thing that Johnson Sioux does? Great news. There are composts that you can use that don't take a year. There's Elaine Ingram's method, there's Korean natural farming, there's spice compost. There's a whole bunch of composts that I don't really know a whole lot about other than Elaine Ingram's. Just haven't tried it yet. Today, we're talking about a product that you can buy that you can apply to your fields that's extremely affordable.
Today's episode is sponsored by Soilworks. Yes, they are awesome, and that's why they're a sponsor. Listen, I promise you, my subscriber, I'm never going to sell out. Every sponsor to this show will be from a product or a company that I believe in, and I am sold on Soilworks. On December 7th, Soilworks is sponsoring our free soil health workshop in Tribune, Kansas. Go to the show notes where we'll have a link for Soilworks' website and details on our free workshop. Did I mention it's free?
So today's video, we're going to talk about Soilworks. We're talking about Soilworks because they make an awesome compost called Bio5, and they make the extractor that we use for all of our compost, whether it's Bio5, purchasing it from them, or breaking down our Johnson Sioux. And that's the Bio5 extractor. You should have heard about them already because I've already talked about them in several videos, but we'll make sure that we cover all of that today in this video. So first, let's talk about the company Soilworks. Soilworks is a company that has gained my trust because of their customer service. It's amazing, and I trust their products. The Bio5 has worked just as well in our fields as the Johnson Sioux, and the extractor has worked amazing for getting the compost broken down and into a form that we can apply on our fields. This is Bio5. This is a compost that is full of humics, and it also has a ton of fungal spores in it. There's not as many active fungus in this, but once you put it through the extractor and activate it with water, you're getting the same response that you are with Johnson Sioux because you're getting those fungal spores in your soil. Once they're activated with water, those fungus and bacteria that's in this compost bring the plant the micronutrients it needs to get the same response that we're seeing with the Johnson Sioux compost. Well, I was extremely, when I first bought the Bio5 extractor, when I first dealt with Soilworks, I was only buying the extractor to extract the Johnson Sioux compost because I'm skeptical of all these biological products that these companies make. We started using that, just mixing it with the Johnson Sioux. And then I realized it was going to be short, and I was like, why not put this stuff to the test? My first dealings with Soilworks was just to buy the Bio5 extractor. To be honest with you, I didn't really trust the Bio5 product. I don't trust any biological products that companies sell because I don't think that they have the fungal dominance or the actual biology in it that you need when you're thinking about applying biologicals to your field to get the best results. So I was extremely skeptical of Bio5 in the very beginning. This year, all of that's changed. We put Bio5 to the test and we applied it to our cornfield and we saw amazing results. But before we talk about those results, let's talk about this machine here. So we use the Bio5 extractor to break down all of our compost. It works by turning this pump on right here, turning this valve on, having it connected to a fresh water source through this valve. So we have a tank outside that we pump the water on through there. So once it gets about this full, a few inches away from the blue filter there, we turn the air pump on right there. It blows the air from that air pump in through the bottom, and then you take your compost, and we typically are making about 500 gallons of extract when we make it. So we're putting in 120 pounds of compost or Bio5 when we make our compost extracts. So we let that the air go through there and extract for 20 minutes. Once your compost is done extracting, you're ready to apply it. You can apply it in furrow, you can do a seed treatment, or you can do a foliar treatment. If you would like to brew a tea, this is the difference between compost extract and a tea. You allow this to sit for 24 hours and you add a food source. So if you want to get a fungal dominance, you would add something that to increase the fungus population. If you want to do a bacteria dominant tea, then you would add something to feed the bacteria in there. But you would want that to brew for 24 hours, and then you want to get that applied immediately. So currently we're only doing extracts. I'm going to do a lot more studying, and we're going to apply some compost teas through the pivot this coming year. Here we are, where we shot the phosphorus problem. As you can see, the corn's all gone, and we've planted beardless trit. So this is the third year in a row that we have had corn on this field. And last year was the first year where we stopped applying phosphorus. So this had 0 phosphorus last year. It had the full rate of nitrogen, 190 pounds. But we got the compost extract going on this field last year. After we pulled the silage off last year, we immediately planted beardless trit. When I say beardless trit, I mean triticale for people in Kansas or triticale for people up north. Either way, beardless trit. So we planted beardless trit in this field after we pulled the silage off last year. This year in May, we harvested that triticale for bales and brought those bales home. And on June 4th, we planted corn here. That corn only got 100 pounds of nitrogen, and this is where we put the Bio5 to the test. 100 pounds of nitrogen, no phosphorus, and only 8 gallons an acre of the Bio5 product, and it did not disappoint. I was blown away that we were able to plant the beginning of June, harvest 19 tons of corn off this circle. We are getting water on it, but it's nozzled for 450 gallons of water, and we only got 11 inches of rain this year. So to be able to pull off 19 tons of silage off this field without applying phos, with applying half the nitrogen that we normally apply, I was extremely pleased with the results that we got from Bio5 this year. So after we pulled the silage off, we planted the beardless triticale, whatever, beardless trit. So after we pulled the silage off, we got the beardless triticale in the ground. Right now, this is the best that, to me, that it's looked after pulling off silage and getting it in the ground, because we never get that great of growth off of the beardless triticale, because usually we're using it as a cover crop, we're grazing it. We don't apply, we haven't applied any nitrogen, and we won't apply nitrogen to it while it's growing. So I'm really excited about what the biology has been able to do just in the short amount of time that we've been doing the biology, in the short amount of time that we've been doing regenerative agriculture and no-till principles. So whether it's Soilworks, Regen Ags, or any company that I'm working with, I will never allow someone to sponsor an episode that I don't believe in their company. I 100% back Soilworks and believe in all of their products. I believe in their customer service. Anytime I have an issue, they immediately get me a part for the Bio5 extractor. They're quick with bringing me Bio5, and they're just great people to work with in general. On December 7th, we will have a soil health workshop where we're going to teach you how to make your own compost. We're going to talk about the Bio5 machine and the Bio5 compost. I will be speaking, Glenn Ravenberg will be speaking, and my good friend and mentor John Neiswanger will be speaking. It's going to be an amazing day, and that event will also be sponsored by Soilworks. The event will be at Tribune, Kansas on December 7th at 9 a.m. Make sure you RSVP 2 weeks prior to the event. If you've already used the Bio5 machine, put in the comments below what your experiences are and let them know where you're from. Thanks for watching today's episode and keep pursuing soil health.